baile de favela. Ah, bailão é baile de favela.
Welcome to Classic Colloquy, the show where we watch, discuss, and review classic public domain media. I am your host, RockinMrMagic. And before we get started, I want to welcome my friend, recurring guest to this show and other Jeek Nation productions, the Superman of Almighty Gaming Studios, Mylon Blackmore. Mylon, welcome back, my friend.
Hey, man, it's always a pleasure being back on here. I'm glad you ain't tired of me yet.
Well, they say familiarity breeds contempt, but there's no contempt here, brother. No contempt at all. I'm glad you are willing and excited every time we do this. So I am so glad to have you. So we're going to jump in on this episode here. We are going to watch episode 22 of season 1 of Bonanza, titled Blood on the Land. Some background info on this episode. It was released February 13th, 1960. It was filmed at Paramount Studios and produced by the National Broadcasting Company, otherwise known as NBC. Directed by Felix E. Feist and written by Robert E. Thompson. It starred Pernell Roberts as Adam Cartwright, Dan Blocker as Eric Hoss Cartwright, Michael Landon as Joseph, aka Little Joe Cartwright, Lauren Green as Ben Cartwright, and Everett Sloan as Jeb Drummond. Lon, Bonanza. What do you think about Bonanza? What comes to your mind?
What comes to mind when I think of Bonanza? So again, another classic western that me and my mom used to watch. Her being addicted to the Western Channel in NBC. I remember plenty of times hearing the Bonanza theme song and wondering like, what is that and what
It's
is
a great
going
theme
on?
song.
It is. No, but again, as a child, you're like, what is this old cowpoke show? Like, just looks like a band of men just out taking over the last bit of the West. But getting older and looking at it, it was like, oh, okay. It was another great Western that in my older years I got, attached to. So I remember great things from Bonanza. Again.
I agree. It's a great show. I remember being young, and I also watched it with my moms, and I remember being a bit confused because you had this old dude and his boys, and none of his boys looked like each other. And then they explained that they all had different moms. So I was like,
You like,
so
oh, okay.
I was like, wait, you. I was like, hold on. I was like, okay, you got, because I always thought Hoss was the oldest one because he was so big and he looked older than Pernell Roberts and Michael Landon did. So I always thought he was oldest, but my mom was like, no, Adam's the oldest, and then Hoss, and then Little Joe, and he had different wives, and all the wives died, and I'm like,
oh God,
they died, huh?
right?
Okay. That at least it made sense is why those boys did not look alike in any way, shape, form, or
I
fashion.
didn't know that. Thank you for
You didn't
putting
know
me
that?
on because I did
Yeah,
not know that.
yeah. Because I was confused as a kid from law, so I was like, "Why are these are brothers? Why do they not look alike at all?" Like casting, even back then, they would make an effort to try to make people look like they were related, but these three did not really look related. So I was glad that I got that explanation because I was confused. But you watching this show as a kid in the '80s during the hype of Michael Landon was still huge back then, so it was cool seeing a young him because I was used to seeing him on Little House on the Prairie reruns
Another classic.
And on Highway to Heaven reruns. So I was used to old Michael Landon, and then I saw this young Michael Landon, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is different. This is interesting." So, but yeah, great show, and that theme song it is fantastic. It really sets the mood for the show really really well. right, so we've got this show queued up, and we're gonna watch. We're gonna banter. We're gonna have some fun while we do this. So this is the time, listeners, for if you're listening and not watching on YouTube, this is the time to queue up yourself. You want to press pause here and get ready because I'm gonna press play, and that's gonna happen for you. That's gonna happen now. All right, here we go. Got some sheep. He's calling me jail.
I got the lay of it just the way you told me, Jeb. It's good forage land, as far as you can see, with a clear pass through the
I
Sierras
hate
off to the
when
left.
those, we
Looks
see
like
those
our luck is
cowboys
running
with
for a
the
change, Billy
brims all
boy.
folded up. I can't
Desert
stand that
south,
look. It
up
looks
good rock
goofy.
and bramble north, and right in
I
front of us,
just
it's
I just
opening up
can't
like the
stand
Red
it.
Sea into the land of milk and honey.
I
Right
hope
in
no one
front
ever
of us.
wore their hat like that
That's the
because it's
Ponderosa,
just
Jeb. We can't cut through there.
Ridiculous, just bent
You don't
all up.
understand, Jeb.
Like,
That's Cartwright
Mhm.
land, as
like,
far as your eye
oh.
can see. You mean they own all that?
Own? Man don't own nothing unless he's willing to die holding on to it.
I worked out this way.
oh
I know Ben Cartwright. Why, he'd kill every last one of us
No,
before
Does he
Ben
have a
Cartwright.
hole
foot
in
on the
his head? Like, did
Ponderosa.
someone shoot at the top of his head?
Start bringing up that flock.
the young boy looks like it.
Now.
Yeah.
I come a long ways with you, Jeb. But I ain't riding against Ben Cartwright for you or nobody.
Start bringing up them
I ain't
sheep.
riding against Ben Cartwright.
I'm
Not
pulling
gonna
out,
do it.
Jeb. And you ain't got
Oh,
nothing to say can stop me.
Man,
with
for
the
the
gun.
pistol.
Don't appear there's
We
much I
should
can
get
do
some
to
more
stop you
action
either.
than we did in the Rifleman.
Well, we
Hard
do have
feeling,
more
Jeb.
time to work with too. But
I
yes,
just
my
ain't gonna
man.
ride against
I
Ben
mean, we
Cartwright.
already got more action because we are
Oh,
what
there you go.
we a minute 45. Oh look, we a minute 45 in and a man's dead.
There
And
you go.
that's more than we got in
Get them
25 minutes of the Rifleman.
Leave him, Billy. He's past
We
fussing.
just got a death. First
learn
death
Yep.
on
once
your
you grow
on your podcast with Classic
Shared
Colloquy.
second plates with him, Jeb. Just a few
2
hours
minutes
ago.
in too.
Once the thing is dead, you gotta get clear of it. The scruffiest hole squirrel knows that.
I gotta say, I don't know.
You,
I don't remember the
you're
name of the
leather,
guy
ain't you,
when I was
boy?
researching.
Yes, sir.
The
I
guy,
spell
this
out,
guy that's playing
Right.
the young boy here,
You read that to me,
but
boy.
he's doing a great
And
job
Moses went up from the
just
plains,
showing the
and
conflict
the Lord
of this
showed
guy
him
that he was
all
just
of the
riding
land.
with and
been
sharing
there
plates
40
with
years
and
myself.
such, just getting
like
shot
Moses.
out of nowhere.
The Lord has finally
And
showed me my
the
land.
conflict on his face he's portraying
I'm
is
gonna take it
really,
to
really
myself.
good.
I have to kill
I
everything on
hate
it
to
and
say
burn
this,
it to
but
the root.
since this is the second Western, it again Red Dead 2 vibes. Like, oh my
Oh yes,
god.
yeah. Well, and you know what? That shows, and yeah, we can. That really shows how fantastic Red Dead 2 especially is,
There he is.
and the way the Rockstar did that,
You know how,
because
don't you? No.
we
How are
watch
you, let's
westerns
go.
and we get such a genuine vibe from Red Dead. The more you go back and you watch these old westerns, you watch Rifleman, you watch Gunsmoke, you watch Bonanza, and you get a Red Dead vibe all the time. It's such a great story.
It just shows Rockstar put their heart and soul in that. Like, they literally paid attention to like the American West.
Man expects to get ahead in this world.
Yes.
He's got to use his brain instead of his back.
Such attention to
And
detail.
with a place like the Ponderosa, a man has to be able to use both. Now, come on, let's give the boys a hand.
Oh, and Hoss's hat always bothered me too. That hat is
Must be
goofy.
Tucker. I put him out hunting strays.
That don't sound like strays.
Strays, all right, but the two-legged kind.
Wow.
Yeah, let's go.
That was awesome. That man, okay, so where's all the bombs? I need to know, like, what
That was
happened?
just a warning. Where do you men think you're headed?
Why, we're aiming across the Sierra.
We better find another way. Nobody goes through the Ponderosa. That's Ben Cartwright's orders.
You figuring to
I
stop
mean,
us
so
all
look, we
with
got
that gun?
we got another gun drawn.
all of you,
Four
That's the
23
second-
men.
Tries to come
That's
through
the
here.
second man that has said, "Look, you tripping? It's Ben
much is
Cartwright."
Cartwright paying
That's
you,
the
mister?
second person is
What's that
like,
to you?
"No, we don't
Isn't
want
enough
no
for a man to
smoke.
get
What you
himself killed
finna
for?
do? That's his land."
Look, we're coming
Right?
through.
Second person with
you
that
You
don't,
can
same
shoot me if you have a
intensity.
mind to.
and you
As soon as
don't
you pull
want
that
this
trigger,
smoke.
you're the same
Trust
as the
me,
dead
you
guy.
don't want Ben
You don't
Cartwright
want-
smoke.
All right,
Oh,
bring
you
him
gonna
through.
regret that.
You
gonna
better get out of the way, mister.
no,
before
you
get
gonna
yourself
regret
trampled.
that.
Yeah, this dude doesn't look like he wants to die over it, but because he's outnumbered. But here we go.
He's like the front man. He's like, "Look, I let you knew they was on the way."
I warned them, Ben.
See?
I give them clear warning.
I warned
Nobody
him.
Look,
expects any more.
I did my job.
You've
Yep.
been told you're on Ponderosa land. I'd be obliged if you turned the tails of those sheep and got them off.
Are you,
Yes, he is.
Ben Cartwright? Drummond. Jeff Drummond is
Who
my
you
name.
think I am? Come
We
on
ain't bringing
now.
no trouble. We're just looking to pass through on the way to California. No more than that.
And you look like
Drummond,
trouble.
I'm sorry, I can't let you take those sheep across the Ponderosa.
You mean you got all this here and you ain't willing for us just to cut
Lone
through?
Green, he always had that face to say, I ain't playing.
Why, you got enough land here to parcel out a state of your own, and you're sitting fat right on top of it, ain't you? Let me ask you a question, Mr. Cartwright. What more right
No, you
you
ain't
got to
can't
this
answer
land than me?
questions. You and your goofy hat don't deserve questions.
Why he ain't never offer like, "Man, I'll pay you to pass on through." He's just literally demanding, "Man, I'm coming through here. I
Deed is
don't
on a
care."
piece of paper. Looks to me like all they
Then
got
he's
is some
disrespecting
scribbling
the
on
deeds of
paper.
their land.
It's what backs up the scribbler, Mr. Drummond. That's what counts.
How many of them you count, Billy?
More than what's standing in front of you.
Mm.
5, Jeb. Just 5.
Apparently,
Less
Jeb
than we
can't
got.
count.
Right, you reaching for the wrong thing. You reaching for the wrong
Look at that.
thing.
All the boys got their guns out before he could even
You're
pull
not
that
gonna
thing out
draw
of his
down
sleeve.
on
Was to draw down.
right. You're not gonna draw down on Big Cartwright when all
Look,
the boys are there.
I'm only trying to get passage through to California.
Like, look, he's just
And I
sitting
aim to
there.
pay
He's
for
like,
it,
I don't have to touch my
Drummond,
pistol. I
I'm
got
not enemy
my
of mine.
sons is right here. They not finna.
Well,
I'm finna let nothing happen to
it's
me.
getting on near to
Right?
dark. You,
And now he talks
wouldn't
about,
mind if we was
I'm
camped here
finna
for
pay.
the
I'm
night.
finna pay the cross. He's like, I
Well,
don't want your money.
all right. But you make sure you're gone by tomorrow morning. Is that understood?
You won't find us here.
You could have
Promise you
offered
that.
3 sheep and like $100 to pass through. Like, it wouldn't have
Well,
hurt you.
but see, after all the arguing, he offers some money, and Cartwright's like, I don't want your
Don't
money.
nobody
I just
want
want
it.
you gone.
You would want,
Yeah, I just want you
right.
gone.
Right. You won't find
Just
us
be
here.
gone. Now, the dude behind Jeb, I've seen him and stuff before. He is always like a dirty cow ranch hand criminal guy. Like, I've seen him other stuff.
You need to do a Geek Nation guide on actors that have always had like shady roles, good roles, because you always know who plays what role multiple times. You need to put
Yes.
that out. Let
Like
the
that,
people
like
know.
that Asian dude that was always a
Yeah.
henchman throughout the 80s in like every movie.
You did fatten up some, though. When I first come on you, and
That dude was a henchman in everything.
You didn't look like no more than a fence post.
Geek Nation's top 10 voice
been mighty
actors.
good
Geek
to me, Jeb.
Nation's top 10
appreciate
actors
everything
that's
you've
always
done.
had same recurring
I
roles.
only
There
hope
you
I
go.
can pay it back sometime.
You can thank me
Yes.
later. You can thank me
There'll be a
later.
time come, boy. There's always a time.
While we producing stuff, Mylon's trying to produce more stuff for Jeek Nation. Look at that.
What are
Yeah.
we doing, Jeb? Going back?
Well, I don't know yet.
That's a big
I
chunk
gotta
of
think
meat
on it.
right there. I hope this
See,
wasn't the
the
little
way
Bo
I
Peep.
figured it, we'd have
Is
made
that
California
what
Yeah,
the little Bo
he's
Peep?
he's fattening the boy up.
That flock would have been
Look at the manipulation by Jeb,
We'd have got a
giving
sight of
this kid. Well, no, at least manipulate him, give him the piece, the
don't know.
prize piece from his plate. He's the boss, trying to make him feel good.
Got another blanket for
You know,
you, boy.
trying to
Giving
keep
them
him.
blankie.
And now look, he's grabbing a blanket.
That's
There
Burton's.
you
isn't
go.
it?
What difference does it make?
It was
No good to him
Burton's.
buried.
I killed him.
I was
Oh,
just
God.
asking.
Now it's your blanket, sucker.
Night,
You know, give him
Right,
the
you
best.
found how you found a pair of boots that fit. You took them off the dead man. They weren't wearing them no more.
Yeah, you don't need him no more.
Don't pull it.
Well,
wouldn't be having all this trouble if you hadn't gone and lost that chili bowl I always fit on your head.
Just take it easy. It's getting thin enough up there like it is.
Keep your head still. Are you still putting that
Now we got a
salad on your
haircut
hair?
scene.
Oh, Lord. Oh. What you so worried about?
Hog lord. Is that what white folks put on their hair back in the West? Hog lord? I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't know about that.
Doing a good job.
So we got a bunch of men, and their age brackets are what? Are we looking at what? Mid-20s to what? Upper 30s, late 40s?
Well, that's the thing. Like, Adam is the oldest, but he looks younger than Hoss, and the actor is probably younger, but he's got to be. He's got to be like late 30s. Hoss has got to be mid-early 30s, and Joe's got to be like late 20s.
Well,
that's my guess.
Well, Adam, I said I'd give it some thought. Oh, by the way, tomorrow morning I want you to ride out and see if Drummond and those sheep of his have cleared out.
What if he hasn't?
Well, then we'll make sure he's cleared out.
Why do we have to take the law in our own hands?
Now, we're not taking any law into our own hands.
Conflict between Paul and Adam.
Open up the Ponderosa to every scavenger that comes along. Drummond's kind turns the land to dust and then just moves on.
Look, Pa, I'm not saying
that's right. Drummond's kind of sucks.
But
He's trash.
People after him. Farmers, traders, homesteaders.
Listen to your Paul, Adam.
What are you going to do? Take a gun to them, too?
Okay, so Adam's estimated age was around 30.
Under Drummond's kind. He'll grab anything he can get his hands on.
How old was Hoss supposed to be? Because Hoss looked like he's 40.
So Hoss is estimated to be around 25 and 26, and little Joe is estimated to be 21 because 21. Joe has a birthday. Because Joe has a birthday episode where he turns 22.
Come on, roll out.
You know, I think I remember that episode.
Hustle it up. Come on, we gotta be making
But
tracks.
okay, I mean, Michael Landon looked young here, but he don't look 21 young. You know, like, he don't look that young.
I had to pull this up, bro. I just go sit here and I was like, what's the age? Like, what are they trying to show us? Okay,
you
so like
can't
I
tell
said,
me. You can't tell me looking at Hoss that man looks 25.
Right. So like I said, they put the age range between 25 and the oldest is about 30. Yeah. So 5 years in between them all.
Well, you see, they had to give proper. They had to give proper time for the wives to die. You know, wife had a kid, she dies. New wife, quarter, have a kid, she dies. New wife, have a kid, quarter, she dies.
Plowing up the earth. I've been pushed so hard, Billy, there ain't hardly a corner I can squeeze myself into. But I'm through being pushed now.
You can see more manipulation out of Jeb.
All right,
all
hurry
these
it up,
speeches.
you men, and get that chuck wagon loaded. Them Cartwrights will be after us before it
Yeah,
gets much
they
lighter.
definitely will.
Yeah, he knows he needs
You
this
take
Billy
them two
guy.
and hang back to ride guard. And if them Cartwrights come tailing us, you let me know.
All right, Jim.
And Billy,
You know, I think that is like
sure
a bullet
you
hole
stop
in his hat.
whichever one of 'em it is.
Stop him.
Kill him, Jeb? Is that what you mean?
That's right. And leave 'em out there like bait to stink a trail for the rest of 'em.
I can't see doing that to him, Jeb.
He has such a soft, innocent demeanor.
Cartwrights would kill us if they got the chance. Every one of us. You know
There,
that,
then
Billy
there it
boy.
is, the conflict
Now,
again
don't you shed
in
no
his
tears
face.
over them Cartwrights. They're the same kind as tried to string you up. Why, they got, we ain't. And knows that God ain't gonna give it up.
You definitely ain't.
So they britches pop.
Kill every one of us if they
Right?
got the chance.
I ain't never heard nobody say that. I'm gonna have to use that
Britches.
sometime. Their britches pop now.
Man, shake them till they britches
Britches
pop.
That's how I'm gonna threaten my kids next time like that. Girl, I'm gonna shake you till your britches pop.
This looks like about as good a spot as any to set up.
Traumatized. No, what?
You talking about an ambush?
What a britches?
Just scour the internet. Just scour the
Right?
internet
Jeff for
for
a
that
long
information.
time now. I know the way he thinks.
How do you mean, Carter?
That old buzzard. He's thinking about killing himself some Cartwrights. Hey, you know
Yeah,
I'm
he
right,
is.
Billy boy.
He's an old buzzard too.
You spot yourself up there. Collier, you head on down a ways.
All shady. Oh, look at Adam out there by his lonesome. He ain't on his hip, ready to pull the strap, though.
Ready to pistol. I love it.
You just do like Jeb says.
Well, can't we maybe scare him a little bit?
The Cartwrights.
Yeah, see, Greencoat don't want to smoke.
Right. If
feel
you
like
gonna
having
hit
Jeb
the
play
king,
the skin
kill
off
the
you for not
king.
doing
Don't
what he
scare the
says.
king at all.
Jeb says shoot. Shoot to kill.
Shoot to kill. You gonna listen to Jeb like that?
You mean about killing the Cartwright?
I mean about getting strung
Nah,
up
yeah,
for
I mean,
Jeb Drummond.
they talking really loud for Adam to overhear them.
Jet Drummond or nobody. Come on, let's get out of here.
Yeah, see, this
Right.
dude,
Right.
he running. He's like, forget Jeb. Let's be gone. Be like, we ain't seen nobody.
All right, drop the gun.
Bop. Right. Bop.
Oh, bam. Quick with it. Adam's like, I didn't want to kill nobody, but he pulled on me.
He tried it first.
Diamond's like, I lose again. Well, yeah, you lost. You tried to kill the man. After talking about you didn't want to die for Jeb, but you gonna pull your shotgun at him? You already saw the man had his gun out. Why would you do that? That don't make no sense.
Keep them bunched over to that side.
That was the one car right that wasn't trying to bust a cap in you. And you still made him bust a cap in you.
No, not here. It's too rocky. I'd like to get to that draw up ahead.
Pasture up there, Jeb. That ain't no good for the sheep.
You know, the green screen they used for this wasn't like terrible. Hey, you can see it.
Right. I was just gonna note, like, this couldn't have all been real open outdoor right.
Yeah, no, I mean it's green screen, you know, whatever it is, but it's not bad.
Unexpected like. Well, did you kill him?
Because I was gonna say, where are you gonna get that many sheep from?
Oh yeah, that's definitely
Finish me off too.
a film, you know, stock film. Oh, backhand.
He got the bad henchman slap. You know that's
yes,
classic.
He did. He sure did.
Well, maybe it's for the best.
Backhanded him.
If we can get us to that draw ahead of them.
Classic bad henchman reprimand. The backhand.
He's pat.
All right, drive him. Oh, we run him.
That bushwhacker.
That's a big fireplace. I never realized how massive. It's a big house, but I never realized how massive that fireplace was until now. A whole man could stand inside that fireplace. That thing is huge.
You want to sit here and twiddle your thumbs while Drummond's sheep eat our land bare? By the time the lawyers and the sheriff and the court in Virginia City get through haggling with what should be done, the whole North Pasture will be torn up. Get your guns, we got work to do.
Hold up.
What kind of work, Paul?
Look at Hawk's hair. Look like he got a little faux hawk going on. Look at faux hawk Haws.
Paul, you're just as bad as he is.
Faux hawk.
What? You and Drummond both think you're a law.
Faux hawk Haws.
Without the law, a man's no better than dirt.
Now, you listen to something from me. I cleared that land that Drummond's driving his sheep through. I worked it till my hands cracked open and the sweat blinded my eyes. And I planted that grass, and with the Lord's help, it grew. And I'm not going to let a sheep herder who never did an honest day's work in his life ruin it.
Okay. That's how. Tell him how you feel, Ben.
Old management versus new management.
Yep. Like, you ain't gonna let my hard work go to waste,
right,
fool.
That's all the show was, like the transition of power between old and new. Like, he was just trying to make sure they were ready for the business.
Yeah. This show is essentially like, Godfather of the West. You know?
Pretty much.
With Lauren Green's Marlon Brando, you know?
All in, Jeff.
Boy, you ain't gonna West you. Boy, Santino, you're not gonna mess up what I'm doing.
Nope. Jeb, you sure you ain't picking off a bigger piece than you can chew?
It's a blind draw, Jeb. You let them come in here, it's us that's gonna be trapped.
Well, if that's what they thought. might turn out just a bit different. It don't matter if they got us trapped, long as we get one of them. Just one.
You let them walk in here, what's going to keep Ben Cartwright from killing off the whole lot of us?
He's so confident in his plan. Like he's one man down, and he's still confident. Like, oh yeah, we
well, no, he's
he's
two men down because he shot the one himself. So that one was leaving or dying, so he killed that. He just lost another one. And that one's a chicken.
He'd chew you right up and spit you out on the ground. Any fool can go out and
chew you up and spit you out on the ground. What are you gonna do? And Jeb is confident because for a dude who can't read, write, or count, he's very confident in his intelligence.
Note, people, we want you all to be very well educated. Like the education level at this time period was not a lot.
Oh, it's very
not
low.
a lot.
Yeah.
Billy, I want you to get back down.
Billy is the most educated of this group, and he's probably not educated beyond a 4th or 5th grade level.
Good, don't it, boy?
Yeah, I
guess so.
That ain't what you're thinking, is it? What are you thinking, boy?
No, I ain't what he's thinking.
You're asking us to shoot those men down like there's nothing but a bunch of bounty pelts.
Well, sure I am. What's wrong with it?
He is so good in this episode, right?
That's good. Because I hope you ain't forgetting how I first come on you.
You can tell he's just got he's just a kid caught up with the wrong guidance, you know.
Well, this ain't no different. And the Cartwrights ain't
talking
no
about when
different
our parents you were strung up like a horse, man. They finna hang you for horse stealing.
Maybe not with a rope.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do it. What are you gaping at?
Nothing, Jeb.
Well, you get back there.
Gaping at your garbage.
Now look, boy. I've been pulling myself through this world for a long time. And when you get right down to it, it's a fact.
Jeb ain't smart, but he's charismatic.
You fight back, whichever way you can, or you just get beat to the ground.
Hey, he's a great little manipulative villain. And boy.
Very manipulative.
Remember what I want. I want one of them Cartwrights. Alive.
Yes, sir.
And put a jacket on, boy. There's a chill coming up.
Hans don't have no buttons on his shirt. It's string keeping it together. I just
Hoss is a big man. Hoss can't do that. He's a big dude.
He isn't leaving the Ponderosa
He's
at all.
a big man.
What makes you say that, Pa?
Well,
he ain't going nowhere there, Ben.
Oh, up there he can protect his flock and have a good chance of standing us off.
There sure ain't no sign of him anywhere else, Paul.
Well, that's the way it appears, except there's no pasture for a sheep in that draw. If he can stand us off, that means we can do the same to him.
He ain't there to pasture, Adam.
Why wait for that? Why don't we just ride in, get it over with?
Wouldn't Mr. Drummond love that? The 4 of us.
Little Joe ready to shoot. Rootin', tootin', ready for shooting.
We're going to have to spread out and stay spread. Hoss, you and Joe, you move up on the left side. Adam and I'll ride straight in.
Well, there is another thing we could do.
What's that?
Well, you could stand watch on him while I get the sheriff.
I thought we'd settle that.
Talking about sheriffs.
Oh, you could pin him down like Adam says.
I mean, let's not act like Adam wouldn't take you mad long to ride into town to get the sheriff, then ride back.
And if we're not willing to fight to hold on to it, we might as well turn it over to the first settler who feels like staking a claim.
He's steady pulling out this pistol.
And that's a fancy-looking gun, too. It had all those types of engravings and stuff on it.
That was a good silver. Right, that's a good silver.
Right? That's a designer piece of blue steel, pointing at your temple with the intent to kill.
What for, Jeb? We got good position on them Cartwrights right here. Just do like I say. Take those men and move them out in the open. But, Jeb, them Cartwrights will be sitting ducks from here. We could wipe them all out. I don't want to wipe them out. Or maybe just miss wiping them out. I just want one of them Cartwrights alive. Now you take those men and move them out in the open where they can be seen.
Jeb with his plans.
He got the master plan.
With none but sweat inside his hands.
We're riding slow.
Sheep
Adam will
sweat,
come
too.
with me. The
Nasty.
boys cover us from the rocks.
Don't fire. I'll tell you when to shoot. You hold your ground right there. The first one breaks to run, I'll kill him all by myself.
Yeah, we know you will. We know you will bust a cap in your own
I hear
dudes.
you, Cartwright.
My son and I are coming in there. You fire one shot, there won't be a one of you ever comes out of that drawer alive.
Jeb, what do you got under your sleeve, bro? You too calm for me.
Jeb be cooking up bad intentions. That's all, bad intentions.
I ain't drawing.
Drummond, I ought to let you and your sheep starve.
Looks like
Do
I
it.
did work myself into a hole.
Please.
And Drummond, you broke your word to me. You're not going to break it again. I'm going to give you one last chance to get those sheep out of here.
Maybe we can make ourselves a little deal.
No deal, Drummond.
No deal.
Right. You came off too disrespectful, bro.
Don't give a man
No,
much
no
space
deal.
to twist in, does he?
He means it.
Now, either you get out, or you get starved out.
All
Or
right,
blasted
boys.
out.
Put down your guns. I'll get my sheep out of here come morning.
You get your sheep out right now.
Sure beats me. Here you
He ain't playing with you, Jeb.
And me, all I'm asking is the right to drive a few miserable sheep across the corner of your land. You'd think you could do a man that little good. You got a mighty unreasonable old man, boy.
Now, Drummond, get those sheep out now.
All right,
Get
boys.
him out,
You
get
got
him
your
out.
orders.
Adam, help me get those sheep on the move.
Is that how you drive sheep?
Right.
What is that? I mean, I don't know. I ain't never driven those sheep before, but that just sounds hilarious.
You look like a reasonable fella. Maybe we can make us a little...
I
Oh,
was
that's
thinking the
great.
same thing, like that words? I did not know that
Let's
word.
get him moving.
Yeah. I would thought you would drive sheep the same way, you know, I've seen them drive horses or cattle. Like, yeah, get it on, stuff like that.
You would think the dog, right.
I didn't expect no rhythmic, ha, choo-choo-choos. Oh! Billy with the splash from the top rope. Where you going, Ben? Ooh. Ross and Little Joe got their rifle. Oh, Ross lost his hat. Ross lost that ugly old hat. Oh, get your rifle. There you go, Ben.
Ooh-wee. It's a rock. It's a rock.
We got the rifle action now. A lot more than we saw in Rifleman.
A lot more than the Rifleman.
Oh!
It's good shooting, Paul. Get off in there. I've got to get to him.
You got like you got time in a gunfight to be congratulating each other.
I'm gonna try to take that ledge.
Good shooting, Paul. Yeah, I'd be like, shut up and shoot.
Get Adam in there. I'll make it.
Those are some shiny rifles. They are the
Yo,
green,
for real. Little Joe got that pretty
seeing
rifle.
Yeah, pretty boy got the pretty blick.
He sure do.
Behind the wagon. I can't get a shot at him from here.
Yeah, look at that shiny thing. That thing ain't like that was like the first time you ever shot that thing. That thing is too pretty.
These weapons.
Oh. Well, what kind of tackle was that? Adam, that was whack. Should have speared him.
You heard him. Drop it. Adam, make for that path behind you.
Why would you carry him out loud? Like,
right? Just say, Adam, run.
Come on, Billy, cut him down.
Gun jam.
Drop it, kid.
Drop it, Billy. Drop it.
You're gonna kill me, ain't you?
Come on, kid. I
Just
said
bad.
drop
Drop it.
Now get out of the way.
I can't.
I said get out of the way.
I can't, Jeb. Give me order.
Boy, you better get your behind out the way.
Why you ain't just pistol whip him there? Why
Who cares about Jeb's stupid orders?
Gotta put up your hands.
See, you could have hit him over the head.
Come on down here.
Out the way.
It's being nice. You didn't have to kill the kid, but you should have kicked him in the stomach or something.
Man.
Cartwright? Cartwright, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You call your men off or I'll kill your boy right now. Joe! Horse! Hold your fire. All right, now clear out. You still trapped in that hole, Drummond? Am I? You got yourself an empire, ain't you, Mr. Cartwright? Is it worth your boy's life? Well, is it? What do you want, Drummond? You hear that, Billy boy? What I want, Mr. Cartwright? Ain't that what you said? Well, I'll tell you flat out. First off, I'm gonna run my sheep across your land. And I'm gonna graze them till they're full enough to bust. And your son is gonna be with me every step of the way. And if you try stopping me, I'm gonna put a bullet right in the back of his skull. It's been a long ways to here, Mr. Cartwright. A long ways and a lot of time. And if you got any doubt about my meaning what I say, well, you just make your play. All right, Drummond.
He not playing around. He like, look, you try any slick, I'm blowing at him.
If you put a scratch on my boy, I'll find you, and I'll kill you. If I have to follow you clear to hell.
Oh! I'll kill you if I gotta follow you clear to hell.
We gotta do something.
Maybe Adam was right. Maybe we should have called the sheriff in the first place. I don't know.
He was right. My fault.
Oh, Paul. You know we don't blame you for nothing.
It's just the way things turned out. Hoss and I would have done the same thing if it were up to us.
That's right.
Young Michael Landon, man.
I let Drummond out.
I wonder how old he was filming this.
Paul, you heard little Joe. Any of us would have done the same thing.
I couldn't have done it any differently. Couldn't just invite him in and ask him to make himself and his sheep at home in the best pasture.
Paul, we know you couldn't do any such thing. But don't blame yourself.
Should have thrown him and his sheep right off the property right away. I was soft.
Paul, we've
He's
all
really
done
beating
this.
himself up over.
From now on, we'll know better.
Well,
than
you know,
try
you
to fight
would
this
be
sort of
beating
thing
yourself
ourselves.
up too if your son got kidnapped
Go
by
for
a
sheriff.
scoundrel like that.
You mean from now on, the Cartwrights don't fight their own battles anymore? Is that what you're saying? From now on, whenever we get into any kind of trouble, we have to go begging for help?
Not begging. It ain't begging.
Well, then what is it if it isn't begging?
It's asking. It's asking like other folks do when their rights are violated, Paul. It's asking folks whose sworn duty it is to uphold the law to come and help us. Paul, ain't that what you always tried to teach us?
Man,
Yeah,
Old
Paul.
West deals with civilization,
Paul, you
right?
know we
Can't just
take care of our own troubles.
can't just keep running around with that
This
Old
time
West
we got Adam.
mentality.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's anything else we can do.
Looks like Michael Landon was 22 when they started Bonanza in '59, so he's probably 22 or just turned 23 when this episode came out.
I think I can go faster by myself.
Hoss. You and I were riding into Drummond's camp. I got an idea how to keep Drummond busy till the sheriff gets there. I don't trust him, but then I can see him.
Yes, sir.
All set, Jeb.
Now, I don't know how Hoss got into
You're
acting,
listening quiet.
because he should have been on somebody's, some NFL offensive line somewhere, blocking somebody.
Say how he skips sports is beyond me.
My man is huge.
I've been thinking.
Big dude.
Right, and at that time, and his position, oh yeah, he'd have been a powerhouse for whatever team.
Lots of it?
Right.
Why, we can raise ourselves the biggest, fattest flock of sheep in the whole country right here. And I'm going to take it, Billy. All of it.
How are you going to do that?
And his name is perfect for it. His
way.
name is Dan Blocker. Like, come on, man. It's a football name.
Before
Should have been
I'm
playing
done with
football.
him, Ben Cartwright is going to be begging to give us the Ponderosa to get his son back. You remember one thing, Billy. You catch a man where he's soft, and you can most always squeeze anything you want out of him. You better take care of him. I don't want nothing to happen to him
man
just
won't
yet.
give you the Ponderosa. Tripping.
Yes, sir, Billy. There ain't nothing at all in California we ain't got more of right here. Say, you must be clean hungry. Eat some of them beans before the cold. See you in the morning, Billy.
Night, Jeb.
Night.
Salt, pork, and beans out there in that
Brought you
trail
some
life.
beans.
Man, options were very limited.
Oh, yeah.
Jeb wouldn't favor that.
Salt, pork.
It was either that, stew, or chili.
Yeah, beans and hardtack.
You
Not
could kill me yesterday.
enjoyable
if you had a
food.
chance.
Guess I could.
If you had, you wouldn't be here like this now.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Why'd you do it then? Why'd you kill me when you had the chance?
I don't know. Just couldn't.
That ain't like Jeb said. I mean about what you and your pa do to us.
Oh, what'd he say we'd do to you?
Kill us. First crack out of the barrel.
How long you
Jeb
been
be
with
lying.
Oh, a year.
We were trying to get you to see that.
I met him when
Especially since
first
Jeb
left off
said
farming and took to
that
the
they
road.
kill him first crack of the barrel, and then he
Exactly
said
like a
Cartwright
man.
wouldn't be the one to shoot first. So
Drunk
which is it?
cowhands was gonna hang me up for stealing a pinto.
Size, we've been over this, size.
Oh, right.
19.
Jeb a liar.
I guess that's how it happened. Well, I didn't know much then. But like now. I bought the horse off a peddler fella. But I never had sense enough to get no papers for it. Just dumb, trusting like.
Now he's taught you not to trust anybody, huh?
Jeb saved my life.
That doesn't mean you have to live the way he does.
I owe him.
Yo, man.
But I guess you wouldn't know what it feels like to have a rope strung around your neck. Not with a regular family and living the way you do. No, sir. Old Jeb, he just come by and scattered them trail hands off.
And you think he did it for you? Haven't you been around him long enough to know he doesn't do anything for anybody except himself?
That don't make no difference. Oh, I guess it weren't so much to save me as much as old Jeb just got it in for cattlemen and cowhands and that like. He's bitter in his ways. Like my pa
really?
was.
We can tell he's bitter.
He got himself killed fighting over a few acres of bare, rocky ground back in Kentucky. Wasn't like I knew him much, him or anybody. Mostly I just sort of shifted around from one kin to the next.
Doesn't mean you have to stay with him.
Right.
He's always done good by me.
Listen, he's no better than something that crawls after carrion. You want to plunder your piece of land bad enough to have his taint rub off on you?
You talk mighty big, don't you, mister? That's because
Another
you got it all.
backhand.
A family and regular living and
We love the bad henchman.
All I got in this world is Jeb Drummond. You remember that, mister. I got nothing in this world but Jeb Drummond.
That means we ain't got nothing for all you guys.
Got nothing in this world but Jeb Drummond.
Jeb Drummond. Here come Hoss and Lil Joe. No, that's Hoss in bed. Lil Joe went to get the sheriff.
Right, Lil Joe went to go grab the sheriff.
Now, if this was Red Dead, someone would use that explosive ammo and shot the wagon and lit it up on fire.
Right, we'd have put on Deadeye real quick and shot it up and got him out there. I'm already thinking, like, what if this is a mission?
Right?
I left my gun.
He ain't left his. Get that gun, Billy boy.
Adam. Hello, Pa.
All right. Now suppose you dismount and say your piece.
Dismount. I might gotta. Yeah, I'll walk right by him.
Let my son go. Take me instead.
Pull a knife and back.
You hear correct.
What are you figuring?
You want
Close
a hostage?
combat.
Well, I'll be a hostage.
No, Pa.
Well, Drummond, what about it?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't care much which of you Cartwrights I hold as hostage. Because I got me another notion.
What's your notion, Drummond?
I've been thinking they had nothing in California as good as you got here. So I'm going to take it. All of it. And claim it as my own.
How you figuring on doing that, mister? You planning on killing us all?
Ask your old man. I think he knows. Billy boy, give me that paper.
Plans on killing y'all.
Yes, sir, Mr.
Where is he getting all this leaked information from?
A deed to 50,000 acres of your land. Now, all you got to do is sign it and make it all
50,000 acres.
Drummond?
Where did you get
think
that
that my
from?
signing a ridiculous scrap of paper like that is going to make anything legal?
Well, the way I see it, I'm willing to take the gamble. Because I ain't got nothing to lose anyhow. And you got something mighty important to gain.
What's he got to gain?
You. Because unless he signs this deed, I'm going to kill you and let your body rot where it drops.
Adam, there's something you ought to know. I sent little Joe to town for the sheriff.
Thanks, Pa. It looks like I've been wrong all along.
No, you weren't wrong.
You weren't wrong, son.
And Drummond, with the sheriff coming, how do you think you're going to get away with all this?
Well, like I said, I'm willing to take the chance.
Yes, that's what you said. What about you? You willing to take a gamble, too?
Whatever Jeb says is good enough for me.
Spineless.
You too?
I'm willing.
Look at him. Do you think he cares if you get skinned and hooked like some coyote meat? As long as he can use you to get what he's after?
All right, you had your say, mister. Now, do you want to sign this deed, or do you want to bury your son?
Don't sign it, Pa. He won't shoot.
Take that paper and piss on it.
Between you and me, Drummond. I'm not a gambling man. Give me that paper.
Pa, don't. 50,000 acres, it isn't worth it.
Isn't it?
I would write like Abraham. I would write like George Washington on it or something.
Right, I wouldn't even write my name.
It's because, because this fool can't even read.
Well, that's a mighty fine-looking signature. Much better than I could have done. But then I never owned 50,000 acres of prime land before, neither.
And you don't own it now.
Dang.
Oh!
Adam.
Look at the takedown. Go ahead, Adam.
He was like, "Hey, you don't have it now."
But it looks like I can't trust any of you Cartwrights. There's only one way to deal with you.
We can trust you with that hat.
Can't just kill him, Jeb.
Can't I? You just watch.
I ain't done nothing for you to kill him over, Jeb.
You give me that gun!
But, Jeb...
Look, how many times I've tried to beat it into you, Billy. If you want something in this world, you've got to get it whichever way you can. But you go right on being woman soft. Maybe I should have let them Wranglers string you up for stealing them 3 pintos.
3 pintos? Jeb, how'd you ever know they was looking for 3 of them?
Well, they said, I guess.
No, they never.
No, they
never said
did.
nothing after you came.
Well, that don't make no difference, boy.
Don't it? Well, I think it does, Jeb.
I think it does.
Because you killed them straight off. I thought it was to save me, but that wasn't it, was it?
Nope.
Well, you knew there's 3 pintos.
There you go. Let it sink in.
Stole them off yourself. I guess I really don't owe you nothing, do I, Jeb?
Now, you know that ain't right, Billy boy. I mean, maybe I did lie to you about them pintos, but I always done good by you, and I taught you things.
Sure. Like shooting a man in the back, like grabbing and thieving. Well, I learned good, Jeb. But I ain't learning no more.
I ain't learning no more, Jeb.
Billy,
I ain't no more.
Son to me. The only reason I want this land is because I'm going to leave it to you. I promise it.
No, Jeb.
Leave it.
Right? You sure got a lot of higher attention.
How many times I tried to beat it into you, Billy?
Wow.
Jeb.
Jeb.
Hang you. You're no good. Thieving, dirty double-crosser. Shoot him, Kaya. Kill him.
Oh, look. Go ahead, Hoss. Hoss is so freaking huge.
Yeah. Like, his whole demeanor was just like the strong guy.
Guess I'll be leaving. Sure do thank you for all your help. For the shirt, little Joe.
You're welcome. Where'll you go now?
I don't know exactly.
Billy, do you ever think
back
of
to
taking
Kentucky.
up homesteading?
You mean a place of my own?
Yeah.
Sure, but...
Well, we got a lot of open land here in the Ponderosa. I figure that Adam here could probably help you pick out a good piece of it.
You mean a piece of your land?
Well, we got a lot of people coming out this way. I guess we'll have to make some room for them all, including the law.
Well, Mr. Cartwright,
That's just mighty
sure
kind of you.
try to live up to your faith in me.
Well, Billy, you better, because if I catch you stepping out of line just once, why, I'll...
You'll go get the sheriff.
Right. You'll go get the sheriff,
Go get the sheriff. What do you think you gonna do? You gonna bust a gap at somebody, huh? You gonna go get the sheriff. Yeah. There we go. They mentioned that land that Jeb wanted 50,000 acres. That's a lot of land. However, the Ponderosa is 640,000 acres. That is 1,000 square miles. That's an insane amount of land that the Ponderosa is. Like you can't call that a ranch, man. Like that is just huge. And he was just trying to steal 50,000 of it. That's wild. That is wild.
I mean, you gotta give it to him. Like he was dedicated. He's like, man, if I'm gonna take it, I'll just get my hands on as much as I get.
Yeah, he was like, I'm gonna try to take what I can. And if he was smarter, he probably would have tried to take every bit of it instead of just 50,000. But shoot, that is, whew. That is a lot.
Right.
That is a whole lot. So what do you think? What do you think of this episode? We know we got more action than we saw in the Rifleman.
4. You know, we cut all the cap. 4.
You'll rate this
Hey,
you rating this a 4 out
yeah,
of 5? Okay.
yeah. Oh my God, it had everything. Look, we got a death. Think about the shows we've reviewed. Think about all the things we haven't seen. Death. We got to see death. We got to see real legitimate action. You know, we got to see management, conflict of management, old style versus new style. Like, oh yeah, definitely, yeah, definitely. Again, when I break down the show on what's the probability of me going back to it and the fondness of me going back to it, oh yeah, I would go back and watch another episode just because that was a random episode and it gave me that much. Oh yeah.
No, that's more than fair. Man, for me, 4 is a great score. I would probably go a little bit higher. I would probably go 4.5.
Okay.
Because for all the things he said, like this episode started off on a very high pitch. Again, a minute 45 in, we got a dude pulling his gun and getting shot in the back. We've got, you know what I'm saying? We've got immediate conflict. And what is probably the biggest thing going on here, and probably wasn't as intentional then as we would perceive it now, but there's a ton of social commentary in this episode. You know, we've got who really has the rights to land. You know,
right.
This guy, he wants it and he's willing to fight and kill for it. Where a guy who who bought it, worked it, and he's willing to kill if necessary to defend it. And then, like you mentioned, with obviously Adam and his position as far as wanting the way to manage it, and like, hey, we've got so much land, people are coming through all the time, like we need to have a way to deal with how that works and how we work with that. And then obviously, how do we defend our land legally within the parameters of the law, because we can't just always take the law in our own hands. So you've got a ton of
It got real intense. Yeah.
you got a ton of social commentary, because essentially what we saw was a stand your ground type of home invasion type situation, essentially. And what's right, what's wrong? Is it okay to pull the gun and shoot? Adam had the opportunity to kill Billy. He didn't do it. But he didn't do it. But the law probably would have been like, if he shot and killed him, they probably would have said it was a justified killing. But if he beat him up or shot him in the leg, they probably would have said during that time it was still justified. But in our time today, some people would probably argue against that. So the commentary that they're going through is huge there. And then we've got value, like what is really of value in life. And Adam's like, don't do it. It's not, don't sign that piece of paper. It's not worth 50,000 acres. And Ben is like, son, you tell me your life isn't worth 50,000 acres? Like, are you kidding me? You're my son. You're worth more than a piece of land. So I definitely give it a 4.5. Between the action, which was really good, like you mentioned, there were multiple deaths, because Jeb dies, he kills a dude in the beginning. One of his guys gets killed by Adam in that little skirmish, and then the bigger skirmish where Adam gets captured, Ben kills another dude. So there's 5 people dead, right there. And so you have the action part, you had your philosophical part, your social commentary, your family commentary, and also loyalty, because Billy felt extreme loyalty to Jeb for what he thought was Jeb saving his life all those years ago, when Jeb,
all I got is Jeb.
All I got in this life is Jeb Drummond. And
all I got is Jeb Drummond.
That's why all he had in life was Jeb, because Jeb was the one who got him in trouble. So, but the loyalty he had to him was really, really strong. and
Undying loyalty.
yeah, almost, but
Almost,
he
right.
did have, a moral code that was conflicting, and I forgot I should have looked up that guy's name, whoever that actor, whoever he is, who portrayed. I'm gonna look it up actually real quick. Let's see. IMDb says that the character of Billy was played by Ray Daly. So Ray Daly did an excellent job in
Oh yeah.
portraying the conflict that he had in listening to Jeb and doing everything Jeb said. And every time, especially when it came to killing, every time Jeb was talking about killing somebody just out of for no reason, he was extremely conflicted. He did a really, really great job in that. So the loyalty there, that just a fantastic job by Ray Daly in portraying Billy was excellent. So yeah, loyalty, you know, essentially like a life debt, that Billy felt, and staying with him with Jeb and doing almost everything he says. That was powerful. So 4.5 classic TV rating for me. Just a really, really good episode.
Yeah, it hit all the marks for me. Again, like so my criteria for reviewing old shows is definitely the last key factor is how fond am I to revisit this series? Like, and that this definitely like reinvigorated me to hop back in. Like, I was like, oh man, now I kind of see what okay, I see what kept that old lady posted to that couch. This wasn't half bad. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have dipped out and watched cartoon. Maybe I should have stayed in there a little bit longer and watched the whole episode.
Right, we should have mixed a little bit more in here and there.
Again, it was a conflict. They look, Bonanza or Courage the Cowardly Dog. These are the things where I was weighing at the time. Those are the things I was weighing at the time.
No, but hey, either choice you made was a good choice. That's cool. But
another great selection by you again.
Thank you.
Another great selection.
I've
been wanting to say that your selections, like pure pilots and then like straight dive-ins. I've been peeping like, I'm looking up like, all of these aren't pilots. Some of these are just dropped in at a certain point. I'm like, okay,
I'm trying to mix it up here and there. Trying
to
mix it up.
We see you.
It's trying to keep you on your toes as we go through this. But yeah, great rating, great review. I appreciate your insight into it, and of course, as always, I enjoy doing this episode, especially the action we got. this was just
with them pretty pistols with the man.
Joe with that pretty rifle. That thing was
and then the
shot
green screen. Oh
yeah.
man, you pointed that out too. I was like, wait a minute. That's right. They didn't have enough money in the budget for that many sheep.
Oh no, they didn't have that shit. They shot this on the soundstage at Paramount Studios. Like, come on. But for 1960, that was some great effects. I mean, we're talking about 1960. That was fantastic.
That was
absolutely.
Decent. Yeah, definitely.
They did their thing on this episode. So, but folks, thank you for joining us on this episode of Classic Colloquy. Again, I am your host, RockinMrMagic. He is one of my esteemed and favorite guests, Mylon Blackmore of Almighty Gaming Studios, and we hope you enjoyed yourself with us today. We couldn't possibly continue to create content like this, not without you, Jeek, to continue to support Classic Colloquy and other Jeek Nation shows. So please rate, review the show on your podcasting app of choice or on YouTube. You can find Classic Colloquy on YouTube to watch, as well as the audio version on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and etc. And if you can't find the show, let us know at jeeknation@gmail.com or message us on Facebook, Twitter, or IG at Jeek Nation. We'll see you next episode, same Jeek time, same Jeek channel.